y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have a look at the Heatwave Summer 2019 collection that is available right now from Cuccio Colours. These are available at some of your favorite stockists, but I'll leave mine down below, HB Beauty Bar, so definitely check them out if you're interested. Super affordable and a great collection of creams. So these were sent to me for review, and I'll go ahead and get right into it. So first up today, I have Hot Thang, and this one is described simply as a hot pink cream. It is showing up a little bit more vivid on camera than it is in person. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it applied for me today on my natural nail. In the vein of not being super repetitive, I am going to go ahead and say that this collection is very nice and easy to work with. These are very, very nice creams that aren't too thick or too thin. At one coat, I did have nice coverage, but it's not completely opaque for me, so I am going to go ahead and finish this off with a quick second coat. Two coats, it does bring this polish to full coverage, and it does dry down pretty quickly to a nice glossy finish. So here is a look at that completed mani at just two coats in its natural glossy finish underneath the artificial lighting, and then really quickly from a different angle under that same lighting. So next up is Life's Not Fahrenheit, and this one is described as a juicy cherry red cream. This one does have maybe a hint of orange in there as well. I think that this is a quintessential red for the summer. I'm super in love with it. You guys know I can't put down a red anyway, but here's how it applied on my natural nail. That first coat does go on very smooth, glides on like butter. It's not completely opaque, although it does have really nice coverage. Two coats is going to bring it all the way there and help me get closer to my cuticle and sidewall. I will say that Cuccio has that squared off a brush, so if that's a factor in you in deciding polishes, I wanted to go ahead and mention that. So here is a look at that completed mani at two coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting, and then really quickly from a different angle under that same lighting. Next up is Paradise Found, and this polish is described as a tropical coral cream. So this one is kind of right in between being a pink and a red, super flattering on the skin tone. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to apply today on my natural nail. So there is a look at that first easy coat. These creams are so easy to control. I didn't have any issues with flooding or getting into my cuticles or sidewalls, which I tend to have really deep sidewalls. One coat is not complete coverage, so I'm going to go ahead and put down a quick second coat. Two coats, it does get me all the way there. So here's a look at that completed mani in just two easy coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting. This is very true to color here on my camera, and then really quickly from a different angle under that same artificial lighting. So next up is a really unique polish. This one is called a Seriously Celsius, and it's described as a bright, vivid yellow and green cream. So to me, this hits more of a yellow, especially underneath my artificial lighting, but with just a hint of like a pistachio feel to it. So here is a look at that very first coat. This one did go on a little bit patchier than the others, a little bit more streaky. So I'm going to go ahead and complete that first coat, let it dry down, and then show you how it built up for me with a second coat. Two coats just adds some depth there and helps cover up that visible nail line. However, I think this is one of only two of the creams of this collection, which I really do think that it needs that third coat. So here's a look at my third and final coat. It does bring this polish to complete coverage. It's also very bright on the nail, not exactly a neon, but still pretty vivid on the nail. So here is a look at that completed mani at three coats before a glossy top coat underneath my ring artificial lighting, and then really quickly from a different angle under that same lighting. So next up is Aquaholic, and I think that this is a must-have in my opinion. This one is described as a Caribbean ocean blue cream. This one just screams summer to me. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to apply it for me on my natural nail. So there's a look at that first easy coat. Again, creamy like butter, super smooth, and very easy to use. This one was still a little bit sheer at this first coat, so I'm going to go ahead and let it dry down and then show you how it built up for me with a quick second coat. So here is a look at that. Two coats is all you need for this one. You are going to get full coverage in just two easy coats. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that up and then show you the completed mani at two coats before a glossy top coat. I love how glossy these are drying down. And then my final swatch photo at an angle under that same artificial lighting. Next up, we have What Are You Doing? And this one is described as a plush blue violet cream. So it's right there in the middle. It does pull a little bit more violet for me, and it is not going to be 100% true to how it is in person on camera. It's going to come off a little bit brighter than it is, but here's a look at that first easy coat. This one went on a little bit streaky for me as well. Just it seems like it has a thinner formula. So that first coat lays down a nice base, and two coats adds some depth, but I did need a third and final coat to just completely cover up my visible nail line. I didn't have any staining with this polish, which can sometimes be an issue, especially with those darker purples and blues. None at all here. So 3 coats does make for full coverage, and it does still dry down to a gorgeous glossy finish. So here's a look at that completed mani. This is about as true to color as I can get for you. So this is at 3 coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting, and then really quickly from a different angle under that same lighting. So keeping on in the purple family, next we have Mercury Rising, and she is described as a luscious wine grape cream. So this does have hints of fuchsia in there as well, keeps it nice and bright for summer. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it's swatched today for me on my natural nails. So there's a look at that first coat. This one has a nice smooth, again, formula, really easy to use. That first coat lays down a nice base. It's not completely opaque though, so I'm going to go ahead and finish it up with a quick second. 2 coats is all that I needed for this gorgeous purple. So here is a look at that completed mani at just 2 coats before a glossy top coat underneath my artificial lighting. I'm in love with how glossy these dry down. And then this is my final swatch photo at an angle underneath that same artificial lighting. So rounding out the collection today, I have Don't Get the Tide Down, and this one is a little bit in between being a purple and a pink, so it's described as a sensual aubergine cream. It depends on what it's next to. Sometimes it looks more pink to me, and sometimes it looks more purple, but this one went on super smooth, really easy to use again. 1 coat was a little bit sheer, but 2 coats gets us pretty much right on the edge of being completely opaque. This is one that may kind of bounce on the edge depending on your personal preference. I did stop at just 2 here. So here's a look at that completed mani at 2 coats. You can still see a little hint of visible nail line there, but my camera and my lights are super bright. So here is my final swatch photo at an angle under that same artificial lighting. You guys, it's been a hot minute, but these water marble so fabulously, I had to put it on camera. So I am starting out with 2 coats of the white from the Cuccio Spring Collection. I'll link it down below if you'd like to see that review. I believe this is Flirt. I'm also using some of the Precision Peel by Live Love Polish. I'll link that down below as well. I went ahead and applied it all around my cuticle areas, across all of my nails, and also to the pads of my fingers just to make cleanup easier. These spread so aggressively, so nicely. I didn't have any issues at all. I am using room temperatured water in my little teacup, and like, it couldn't get any more amazing for water marbling. I was able to do 3 passes of each color I used. I think I ended up using 5 of the collection, and I really didn't know what I was going for when I started, so the polish did dry down a little bit in the cup, but it still worked really well. I did go for a full starburst there, and I'm just going to dip my nails directly onto that image and then gather up the excess with my water marble tool. And then I'll do a little bit of cleanup and show you that completed look. These are super bright and not completely neon, just nice, bright, vivid primary creams. So I did a little cleanup there with acetone and a cleanup brush after removing that liquid peel. No issues with staining, even with that red towards my cuticles. It didn't get stuck there. So I'm going to go ahead, complete that cleanup, and then lock that in with the glossy top coat. I've been missing water marbling, and this really kind of hit me in the feels. I'm in love with it. I did go ahead and do both hands and wear this for a hot minute. And I really love this color combination. I'll leave which 5 that I use down in the description. This is a final swatch photo at an angle in that direct sunlight. And that does wrap up my swatch and review of the Heatwave Cuccio Summer 2019 collection. Again, these are available right now, so don't miss out on them. They're super affordable. And if you'd like to see more, you can also follow me on Instagram at Sloppy Swatches. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you again on Monday.